Prime events in South Jersey Sports Talk present the Rancocas Valley Red Devils and the West Jersey Football League. This live coverage is presented by Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day and the community-minded businesses of Mount Holly and Southern New Jersey. Now, to the field. Here are Tony Blum and Dave Klemic.
Good evening and welcome to the state playoffs for 2017 here in South Jersey. We have a good one for you here tonight as the number 2 seeded Rancocas Valley Red Devils take on the Vikings of Eastern. My name's Tony Blum along with Dave Klemic. And Dave, you've been in these playoffs. You know about this. I know you got excited about covering this game, and here we are.
Yeah, I was texting you all week trying to get any type of response out of Tony, and I got a few messages back. This week, it's really exciting. Everybody, even the consolation games that they're playing is exciting. Mainland, the place is so wild. I live right by there. Egg Harbor Township is really close by, but this is an exciting time, and the kids, the games mean everything to this community, too, and they're having a great season. I think they're the team to beat, too. Rancocas Valley's got maybe a little chip on their shoulder from taking a loss to Camden as well. So I think they're in pole position to win this game tonight and move on to the state championship.
We're going to take a look at both teams, Eastern and Rancocas Valley, and we'll do that right after this.
Pre-loved, pre-approved, and new to you. Visit Miller Subaru in Mount Holly and get a great deal on a factory-certified pre-owned vehicle. Our certified pre-owned vehicles are all backed by Subaru and come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a free Carfax included, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Get all of the luxuries and peace of mind of a new car at an affordable price. Miller makes it better. Miller Subaru, Route 38 Mount Holly, 24/7 at millersubaru.com.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We stock boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, and decorative gravel. We also offer a huge variety of natural
All right, back here
and custom
at Rancocas Valley.
Help you plan the job, rent
Eastern
food,
comes in at 5-4, Dave, and they're a team that likes to control the football, like to run the football, and one thing about them is they've lost 4 of their last 5. So not coming in here under the best of circumstances, but again, this is the new season for both teams.
Right, and they're playing against the top seed. Them playing Camden, Rancocas Valley playing Camden was. I hope that was a learning experience because they took a loss to a team that I think we all thought they should have won easily, and they got up one really quickly. And I remember being in high school and taking a loss the Thanksgiving game prior to the state championships, and it was the best thing that ever happened. We thought we were invincible, and we took our foot off the gas, which is exactly what Coach Hausman said, that they took their foot off the gas and then let somebody catch up and beat them. So, and that's exactly what we thought, and we lost a game on Thanksgiving to Egg Harbor Township. But you know what? We learned from it, and then we fixed all our mistakes, knowing that we could get beat. We are not invincible, So they got to cut the mistakes. That game against Camden, they had a record number of penalties, holding and procedure penalties that were just killed them. So I'm sure Coach went off on that this week, and they're going to correct those mistakes in the playoffs.
No question. He did say exactly that. They lost control of the game. They couldn't get the momentum back, and it cost them. And he did say, hey, look, when you get somebody down 17-zip, you got to put them away. They didn't do that. But he did say something about this Eastern team, and that is that they have very different kind of offensive line blocking. Instead of having the guards pull or lead you to where the ball's going with a lead blocker, they block man on man, and he said, it's more difficult to find your keys, to find out where the ball is going under those circumstances, so they really had to work on that this whole week.
Yeah, what they do is that puts a little bit more stress on the running back to make decisions of where to go and find holes and, juke a little bit. You don't hit the hole as hard, but you can pick up yardage, and it's you're unpredictable to the defense.
And, of course, Eastern is a team that does not throw the football very much. Their quarterback, Andrew Heck, didn't start the season, but has come on now, and he's thrown the ball 40 times in 5 games and really doesn't throw it very much at all. So they're looking to control the clock, control the tempo, kind of like some other teams we've seen this year, like Clemente and other teams, where they're not going to wow you with big plays, but if they can control the clock, stay ahead of the chains, they feel they have a chance.
Yeah, they're not a really fast team. I actually, when I was talking to Coach Doherty, I said, well, do you guys have any, guys with some blazing speed or anything, like that flash speed? He's like, that's not really what we're known for right now. Eventually, maybe we'll get there, but we really play a slow, steady, eat up the clock pace, like University of Pennsylvania basketball. And I know when I was talking to Coach Hausman, he said the same thing. We gotta we can't let them just eat up the clock on us, because then takes away from their big playability, and they need to they have their offense on the field. These guys will run the clock forever. They average 35.8 yards passing per game, so they're barely going to throw anything but a pop pass or a quick out route or a screen pass in a game. So they're going to run the clock down.
We're going to be back to talk a little bit more about Rancocas Valley and what they're looking to accomplish in this football game, and we'll do that right after this short break.
Looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle? Miller Ford has a great selection to complement any lifestyle or budget. Plus, not just any car can be certified pre-owned Ford. Only the best cared for vehicles are chosen and then backed with Ford factory coverage, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a clean Carfax report, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Find an affordable, reliable, and certified Miller Ford today. Miller makes it better. Route 38 Mount Holly and 24/7 at millerford.com.
All right, welcome back to Rancocas Valley. As you'll see, the coin toss at the center of the field going on. Very chilly night here, to say the least. We're fortunate that the press box does have some heat, but it's chilly on the field. And more importantly, Dave, is I think most players like yourself who have been down on the field and played in conditions, wind is the thing that players think that most affects the game rather than cold or even rain. It's that wind.
Yeah, well, the wind can also drop the temperature down by a heck of a lot too. So it makes a difference, especially when you start to sweat. Once you get in halftime, you get some sweat going, and then you go back to the bench, and it's not like the NFL where these guys have heated seats and everything like that, and there's heat things on the side. You're just freezing your butt off over there, and you got to stay moving.
Well, the thing about this tonight here is it's such a departure from what we've had all season long. I mean, we've had 70s in November. It's been gorgeous for the football season, and now we got the wind, we got temperatures that are going to be falling into the teens. So, but Coach Hausman says, hey, you want to play football in December? Get used to it.
That's great. That's a good one. I'm using that.
Of course, if they do play football in December, that means they're going to be making it to the championship in Group 5. If they win here tonight, they play the winner of Millville and Williamstown. Millville already has beaten Williamstown this season, and of course it would be a rematch of last year's semifinals that Millville won right here at Rancocas Valley, and then went on, of course, to beat Toms River North in the championship game. And they've got just about everybody back. They're a very tough team. Interesting that they're the number 3 seed, and a lot of people think they're the best team of all.
Mm-hmm.
So now the color guard out there, you can see the flags blowing, and now our national anthem.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous the land and of the free, and the home of the brave.
That was McKenna Montgomery with the national anthem, and an excellent version, I must say, live. We always love those live versions. It just makes you feel so good when they do it live, and she did a fantastic job. So Rancocas Valley is going to receive the football, and defending the goal to our left, and it'll be Eastern kicking off.
This is an athletic competition.
So in this first quarter, they're going to be going with the win. So let's see if they take advantage, not saying they're going to go exclusively to the air, but if they need to, they have the opportunity to get something done in the air with the wind at their back.
Coaches and officials, please give these student athletes your positive encouragement and respect the judgment of the officials. All spectators, athletes, and coaches should uphold an attitude of good sportsmanship. Let the coaches coach, the athletes play, and the referees officiate.
Ty Matlock back along with Iverson Clemente. And we remember last week Matlock going 85 yards with that opening kickoff. Not next week, last week, 2 weeks ago. And so another weapon for the Red Devils.
Yeah, a younger guy who's gonna get some playing time because of that play right there. Next year, you look to be a star. Now, they really don't want to kick it either way to these guys, and I wouldn't expect them to.
Here's Talmadge with a kickoff. Short, angling to the right side, and it bounced down and then taken across the 35 to the 40 and to the 42-yard line.
That was obviously Clement.
That was Clement on the return.
Returns the ball.
So excellent field position to start off their first drive at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, and Iverson gets the ball, and I said earlier, and I tweeted and I sent out, this is probably the best, he's the ultimate weapon in New Jersey as a football player. Complete football player, offensive, defensive, special teams. He could do it all, and he's sitting right there in the backfield, number 11.
Bit of an odd setup here, Dave, for this first play. Mangine takes the snap back, gives to Clement, breaks free. He's got the first down, cuts back to his right. And he's got a big gainer to the 42-yard line of Eastern. Interesting. They set somebody deep in the backfield right side, kind of a slot formation, but not at the line of scrimmage. Put him in motion, and then Clement with a carry and a big gainer on first down. Here's Clement again, pounding inside the 40 to the 31-yard line. Check that, 36-yard line, pardon me. So a pick up of 5 on first down.
Now, I like how they're going the no huddle and making the Eastern defense predictable, and they could change. They don't change personnel, but they can move the people different positions and make them stay in a predictable defense where they move their star players all around.
Double stack formation. Clement with Mangine in the backfield on a 2nd and 5. Mangine's going to keep it himself up the middle. Finds room, has the first down, breaks free inside the 20-yard line, still on his feet, and he's going to take it the distance.
For the RB touchdown.
You talk about the athleticism of all your players. Your quarterback is one of the best athletes around, and he could do it with his arm, and then you just saw it right there, do it with his feet. Bryce Mangine is an amazing athlete.
Of course, already committed to the University of Pennsylvania.
So
as
also
a
a
pitcher.
great student.
Yes.
And also a great student.
Absolutely.
That'll be number 90.
Prescavage to attempt. So with 10:52 left in this first quarter of play, Rancocas Valley wastes little time in getting on the board. 36-yard gallop by the quarterback, Mangine.
That kick is up.
Prescavage is good.
With 10 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in the first
They'll score
quarter.
quick, and we'll just see how much time Eastern's going to run off the clock and try to keep it the slow-paced game that they want it to be.
Eastern Vikings 0.
Well, there's something for everybody at Dempster Sports Pub in Mount Holly. Early bird specials, Mexican Monday, Saturday breakfast, Thursday, a great menu featuring their scrumptious burgers, nightly entertainment, and a wide variety of beverages. But Dempster Sports Pub was designed for the sports fan. You can watch all the NFL and college football games, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it. And they have their own teams as well for shuffleboard, darts, and horseshoes. Dempster Sports Pub, 437 Pine Street, just off Route 38 in Mount Holly, where friends become family. So quickly, Rancocas Valley breaks on top, 7-0.
We'll be back deep to
Just a minute and 8 seconds off the clock, Dave, and they're already on the board.
Yeah, they're going to strike quick. That's what they do. Very explosive and deep. They got all the elements of a state championship level team that can play, because every single one of their players can score from anywhere. You saw how much depth they had even at Camden, where you have a sophomore kickoff returner returning punt or a kickoff 85 yards.
Preskavich with the kick, but a whistle
flag on the play.
and a flag. Legal procedure the call against
the Red Devils.
Rancocas Valley, so that'll push them 5 yards back, and they'll have to do it one more time.
Sorry, Ty Matlock's a junior.
Okay.
I said he was a sophomore.
Back deep is TJ Frandon, who he pretty much does it all for this Vikings team, does Frandon.
Yeah, Coach had spoke very highly of him. Coach Doherty said he was their top rusher. He's also he's a great wrestler. He's a great student. Has a 4.0 GPA. Being looked at by a lot of Ivy League schools right now, some of the Patriot League schools. But he's a heck of an athlete.
So here's the kick by Preskavich again. It's taken at the 22-yard line.
Omar Davis.
Davis across the 30-yard line and knocked out at the 31-yard line. So Eastern with their first opportunity, trailing at 7-0.
Joel Anaya.
I like what they did on offense, though, where they were in positions and they put themselves in a formation that they haven't seen before. Going into the playoffs, you want to do some things like that to throw off people who were literally sitting here right in front of us, watching them live, taking notes.
At the 31-yard line, Andrew Heck is the quarterback, hands straight up the middle for no gain at all.
There'll be no gain on the play.
Well, Andrew Heck, who is not the starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, is a very fine athlete. I know his dad well. He coached me in basketball, and he was a great athlete. Dunked the ball all over the place and everything. He was an unbelievable athlete. He's got a sister that's just scored her 100th point in field hockey.
Yeah. Aswandu on that last carry. They give him a yard.
That'll be number 29, TJ Frandon.
Frandon
on the carry.
gets the call. Frandon across the 35 to the 36, 37-yard line. And that'll bring up a third down and 4 for Eastern.
Correction would be 3rd and 4.
Vikings got off to a good start, but as we mentioned, they lost 4 of their last 5 games. So looking to get back that winning way here in the first round of the Group 5 playoffs against the number 2 seeded Red Devils of Rancocas Valley. Third and 4. Looking to take it himself is Heck, and Heck is going nowhere, loses yardage back to the 32, 33-yard line, and not a chance there. They were all over him, Dave.
Yeah, they're going to run a predictable offense, and they make no surprise about it. They're going to come out and try to slow you down, and they got to slow a team down like this. Got to move the ball though. But they did take some time off the clock.
Talons now will punt and into the wind, so the line drive kick is bouncing down at the 45, 47-yard line and out of bounds. So no matter where they mark it, Rancocas Valley is going to again have excellent field position. They're going to mark it right at the 45, it appears, where the official is standing on the near sideline.
And a pretty smart move not to kick the ball to Iverson Clemente, who also last week or at Camden one-handed a punt return. And I asked Coach Hausman how he felt about that, and he said no comment because I don't know if he was very happy about that, but it was one of the most impressive things I've seen a high school athlete do.
So again, an odd-looking offensive set. Mangine, again the give to Clement, slices off right tackle, stutter stepping, pushes a tackler out of the way, and they finally are able to run him out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Very slippery run there by Clement.
He's one of the more, the patient runners that he can be patient because he's so explosive, so he can pick up his speed so quickly. And he always has a hand on his blockers and guides them where to go, and they just kind of work off of him.
At the 36, Clement this time nowhere to run at all, and Frandon makes the stop. He was on him immediately.
Right, and Coach Doherty was saying what they needed to do as a defense was swarm when they tackle and try to contain Clement, not just go ankle tackle him and stuff like that, because he takes people right out. Single tackles don't really work, so they kind of have to contain him down like a rabbit kind of, and then just pull him down.
Looks like they're going to give that yardage right back to Rancocas Valley. Offside's the call. That'll cost them 5 yards. So the 2-yard or 3-yard loss is going to turn into a gain of a couple because they move the sticks forward. And now it'll be second down. Second down, and we'll call it a short 7.
Being 2nd and 7 for the Red Devils.
From the 32-yard line of Eastern.
Placed on the 32.
Mangine, we're going to tow it. Right side. Incomplete.
Intended for
Jerome Hill at the 5-yard line, just a little overthrown.
Andres out there, but last week Jerome Hill had a great deep pass against Camden, and I think they're getting some confidence in him, and they're going to put their best defensive back over there on Allen Watson.
So now 3rd and 7. Clement eludes a tackle in the backfield. Slips another, and he's going to be knocked down at the 30-yard line.
By number 29.
So now a decision for Coach Hausman.
Brings up a 4th down for the Red Devils.
And looks like he's going for it here. Already up 7-0 with 7:29 left in the opening quarter. Jerome Hill, of course, replacing Condris. They saw him practice on Monday, felt good, but then on Tuesday just couldn't go, so they shut him down and hope to have him back next week should they advance. Slot formation to the right side. Mangine again going to go to the air. Throws to the right side. This one's complete. Now that was, if I can speculate, not seeing his number, I was Iverson Clement because of the hands. I said,
oh, yeah.
Is that Clement? Yeah.
Gives the Red Devils
that was
first down.
Curtis Bright.
That was Bright, I'm sorry.
And, he did he kind of one-handed that back to himself, and they were close to the marker. I'm not sure if they did get it. They did get the first down. It was a great catch, great concentration catch. But Jerome Hill got behind the defense on that one. I was thinking they were going to go deep.
First quarter, Lenape up on Vineland 7-0. Here's Mangine again, finds some room up the middle inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Gain of approximately 5 yards.
2nd and 5 for Rancocas Valley.
And we just got an update that Lenape is leading Vineland 7-0. Also, Cinnaminson leading Camden 14-0 at half.
That, of course, in Group 2. Sykes in motion to the left side. Clement sheds a tackle, looking to accelerate, but just could not pull away.
Tackled by number 50.
That was Mark Sykes, who I see they've been trying to work him more into the offense here. He put him in a jet sweep, and they could be trying to set something up for him, but he's a real effective player whenever he's got the ball in his hands.
3rd down and 2. Last tackle by combination of Umar Davis and Mo Howard. Clement up the middle, pounds down to the 10, maybe the 11 where they're going to mark it And that'll be another first down.
Yeah, when Iverson carries the ball, it's him going to the ground by himself. It's very hard for one person to bring him down. And I think their plan was to swarm him. And looks like they're trying to do that right now and just contain him as much as they can and not try to arm tackle him.
Empty backfield. Mangine's going to foul blockers heading for the left corner of the end zone. Goes to the goal line, and he goes in for the touchdown. So Bryce Mangine back-to-back touchdowns.
For the touchdown.
Yeah, this week, they have such respect for Bryce Mangine as an athlete that this week in practice, Coach Doherty was saying they used one of their coaches who played football at Kent State. He was a wide receiver there, and they used him as as the quarterback in practice. They didn't even use one of their players. They suited him up and let him practice. I thought that was pretty neat, and that's how much respect they have for Bryce Mangine as an athlete.
Remember, he's only a junior.
And
he's going to hold, and he's going to fake the typical extra point, and he's going to take it in for the 2-point conversion. So it's been the Bryce Mangine show here. 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. You can't ask for much more.
Well, when you have almost 100% of your attention on number 11, number 7 is going to get you. And that's how this team has been going. This is why they're such an effective offense.
So now 15-0, Rancocas Valley. And Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day is proud to support Rancocas Valley football. Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day is an annual not-for-profit event established in 1998 as a way to financially support area youth programs. Everything from Pop Warner football to the Mount Holly Library. The 21st annual Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day is coming up in May. Check out the details online at onlc.com/Pro Day.
Klemic will be in to kickoff for the Red Devils. Back deep for...
So Preskavich now to kick it off.
29.
Fraden is deep to receive it.
Omar Davis also back there, along with number 20, Larry Davis.
Larry Davis and Omar Davis, and over the head of Davis. Did get a finger on it possibly, but it carried into the end zone for a touchback. So big-time boot there. Of course, he's got that wind at the back of him in this first quarter.
Yeah, and that was Davis who tried to predict where that kick was going. And, I mean, the wind is whipping through there so hard that he actually that really wasn't even his fault. The ball just kind of sailed and went way over his head. It's very hard to predict down there, and it is very windy.
So let's see what they're doing here, Dave. Appears they're putting the football down at the 1-yard line. Now he might have touched the football, but the impetus carried it into the end zone.
Yeah, it's
okay. So it must have gone out before it crossed the goal line.
Right, yep.
Dangerous here for Eastern, already trailing 15-0. Quick pitch to the right side, and that's incomplete.
Is an incomplete pass.
Tended out there for Benson, but
yeah, it was a rare spread formation that they try to get the ball. They're just trying to get the ball a couple yards upfield, and I just don't think they know they have the push right now with that defensive line and linebacking crew and with Rancocas to push the ball out. They might come back out that again and just try to get a quick out route, slant route right now, and they do. That's what I would do.
Double slot formation, of course, this is not what they do. This is not in their comfort level. Hand off left guard for a couple. Aswanu with a carry. He's their leading bowl carrier.
And they had their receiver number 80 completely uncovered right there. If they're back up in the booth right there, you'll see a little quick hitch route to number 80, completely uncovered. Safety is 12, 15 yards away from him. Do my best version of Tony Romo and predicting plays here. That's what I'm looking at. But they're leaving him uncovered right there. Okay, now they bring over a linebacker to cover him on this play. I'm sure they saw that up here.
Double slot formation. Heck, again, off left guard for virtually nothing as Wadu again gets the call, but you can't do that much. You don't want to turn it over here, Dave. They're already down 15-0. But 3:50 still left here in this opening quarter, and now they have to kick it into the wind from deep in their own territory. Not a good situation. Talmadge is going to kick it standing about a yard in front of the end line. And Clement at the 30-yard line of Eastern. Going to bounce down to the 30, and Clement's just going to let it go, and it's going to be downed. At the 30, they say the Red Devils may have touched it and then picked up by Eastern, but let's see how they rule it.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a strange. It was really hard to see from up here.
Touchdown.
So let's see what the officials, they say no, it's Rancocas Valley football.
Yeah, it's really hard to see from up here. Our spotter couldn't make it today.
It appeared that Joe DiPalazzo picked it up, but they say no. It's Rancocas Valley football. So they have it at the 35-yard line of Eastern. 3:18 left in the opening quarter. They are already up 15-0 and looking for more here. Sending Iverson Clement in the backfield one more time.
That'll be Clement with the direct snap.
He's blocking. That's Bright carrying inside the 30-yard line, inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Updates on some scores. Cinnaminson 14-zip over Camden in the third. Timber Creek 14 over Seneca, nothing. Pensgrove 14, Moorestown nothing. Lenape still on top of Vineland 7-0. And of course right here, 15-0. RV over Eastern. Is there a turnover?
Yeah, it was a turnover.
Must have missed that. Quick pitch to the left side. Sorry about that. That's incomplete. The intended receiver was Benson.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
So off the turnover, Eastern with a 2nd and 10. The ball marked at the 24-yard line. Approaching 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Double slot formation again.
On the Viking 25-yard line.
Heck takes the snap. Looking for some misdirection there, but Frandon had no shot as he was met right at the line of scrimmage and then thrown back.
Attempted carry. He was hit immediately by number 44, Joel Anaya.
Anaya with the tackle, and he is, we haven't mentioned his name a lot, Dave, but, you know, he is their leading tackler on the season.
Yeah, I usually we're talking about, you know, swoop, talking about sap, making big plays like that, but yeah, he's quietly the tackling leader.
Shawnee on top of Absigami, 14-0 as well. Throw to the left side, and nobody is there at all. Incomplete.
That ball is incomplete.
Intended out there for number 80. I don't have a number 80 on the roster. Do you?
No, you know what? I didn't see that, and I was trying to find that looking down here, unless there's on the back page or something. Can't find it.
Checking with everybody in the press box, and we do not have a number 80s. So we always like to give credit to the kids who are out there. And,
John Doe, 80.
Talmadge is back to
Talmadge with a kick.
John Deere.
And Clement's going to just let it run, and roll, I should say, and finally is going to be downed at the 47-yard line. So Rancocas Valley gets the football again, so no damage done by Eastern off the turnover, and they have the football again with still 2:06 left in this opening quarter. So if they're going to throw the football, they're going to probably want to do it in the next 2:06.
Yeah, and that was Ryan Jennings recovering that ball. Now, this is the one guy they said that Ryan Jennings can really run. They said he's got he'll run about a 4.5 40. Legitimately, he's a track kid too. He's a captain. And that was something that somebody that Coach Doherty mentioned had a great skill set, and he's young.
15-0. Red Devils on top with the football at the 46-yard line. Mangine will throw deep down the left sideline. Incomplete.
And that was right there is Ryan Jennings, which I just mentioned. They said he was the one guy they think that could run with Alan Watson, and they do have him covering him. Almost they had him almost press man right there, and it was a little hitch and go move, which he didn't fall for at all.
So off the incompletion, 2nd down and 10.
And I've seen a great improvement in Alan Watson's route running and his blocking downfield in the past couple games.
Mangine takes the snap. Here's Clement. Clement pounding up the middle, inside the midfield line to the 46-yard line of Eastern, about 1.5 yards short of the first down.
Got a flag in the defensive backfield.
Waiting for the indication. Officials. Is that a sideline violation?
Yeah.
So that's just a warning.
Back. Oh, it's a warning. Okay.
Yeah, first one's a warning.
Sideline warning against Eastern.
3rd down and 3. Slot formation to the right side. Sykes is in motion to the left side. Here's Clement bouncing off tacklers. Has the first down. Now breaks free. He's going to take it the distance to the 10, 5, and the touchdown.
For the RV touchdown.
Zaire Goins, number 2, had a nice angle on him, and he just outran the angle. Iverson Clement just outran that angle. You just see him start lifting those knees, pumping those arms, and man, he could cover some ground quick.
Yeah, you could see there, Dave, once he bounced off that tackle, he just put it in another gear and he wasn't going to be caught.
That was well timed. I like how they're using Mark Sykes to do those jet sweeps and get quickly across the formation, and it was a really good fake, and everyone bit on it, and then just a counter right up with Iverson Clement. Great play.
Prescavage to boot. And it is good.
That's a play that'll work no matter who they do it against. If they sell it that well, I mean, we're up here and we can see how the play developed. If it develops on time like that, it's going to be very successful.
22-0, pardon me. Rancocas Valley extends their lead. Miller Ford and Rancocas Valley High School have been synonymous with Mount Holly for decades. The dealership has been part of the community since 1912. Miller offers full state-of-the-art service at their Ford Lincoln and Subaru dealerships side by side on Route 38. There's a huge inventory and a great staff to help customers find the vehicle that is just right for them at the best price available. Miller Ford and Subaru, Route 38 in Mount Holly. Online at millerford.com and millersubaru.com. So still 1:35 left in this opening quarter, and Rancocas Valley looking to make a statement right here coming off that loss against Camden. They're pretty much dominating from start to finish.
Yeah, and you know what, Coach? Coach is going to throw in a bunch of formations that people have never seen before. Maybe, he almost has a punt like offense right now. It looks like they, without the punter there, it's just kind of with 2 protectors there. It kind of looks wild, but he's going to throw some weird things in there to get so people are watching them during the playoffs are going to be thrown off and be ready for formations that you may never see again. He's thinking 3 steps ahead right now.
Prescavage with a kick out of bounds at about the 5-yard line, so the marker at Eastern should start off here with good field position.
And I like how Coach Hausman, I love whenever I talk to him, he gives me a little bit, but not a lot. He just like, he doesn't want to show a lot here, but he shows, smoke screens all over the place because they just don't want anybody to be able to catch up with what they're doing or have a real game plan that they have going on. He's playing chess because he's got some pieces to work with like that, where a lot of people have to play checkers because they don't have the pieces that can make moves like he does. And it's a very good problem to have.
Eastern with the football at the 35-yard line, looking to pound it up the middle. Brandon,
Number 29.
nothing
TJ
there.
Brandon.
They have very little running room thus far in this game. They're just bottling it up. So haven't really been affected by that different blocking scheme that Coach Hausman was talking about.
Yeah, honestly, they're just really. I was down on the field, and I thought their Rancocas Valley with their jerseys, with not even their shoulder pads on, looked like they had a ton of size on Eastern, who had their pads on. I mean, it's a big size difference down there too.
Jerome Donaldson, their left tackle, is a big kid, though.
Yeah, he is. He's a big boy.
2nd and 10. Heck rolling right. Heck throwing deep down the center of the field, and this one is going to be intercepted at the 26-yard line.
It is intercepted by the Red Devils.
Making the pick was Keyshawn Harris.
Keyshawn Harris.
And he was just waiting for the ball to come down, Dave. I mean, you could see him looking back at the ball and just waiting for it to come down. He just had better position than the intended receiver, and just a matter of whether he could haul it in, and he did.
Yeah, and if he was probably thinking a little bit clear, he probably would just knocked the ball down because they really haven't been able to move the ball too much. You get the stat interception, but it was really like a punt.
The 1st and 10 for the Red Devils.
Just to try to they got to get him out of here.
Line.
The punts, you don't want to punt it to Iverson Clement. If you can get to 2nd, 3rd down and throw a bomb that gets intercepted, it's actually like a good punt.
They have the football, leading at 22-0, just 37 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Mangine. Clement
on the carry
to the 29. Should be the last play of this first quarter.
Gain of 4.
Now, I just, even though they're up by a lot, I think they should still execute their offense and play, and stay the course, and not take their foot off the gas just yet. Continue to play. Don't, I don't think they should start subbing in backups. Although I think this game is going to get pretty much out of hand after this quarter, but out of reach. I'm sorry for Eastern, but stay with the course because they still got to play. They got time. They got more games to play, so I'm going to keep their guys fresh.
After 22-0, Rancocas Valley. And for over 45 years, the Limo Group has provided quality engineering services to public clients throughout New Jersey and New York, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Many of these clients have used the Limo Group services for years, and the firm has received many engineering and planning awards for municipal and state projects. The Limo Group services are tailored to a client's specific needs. These range from water wells to footbridges and nature paths to new structures and facilities. The Alimo Group can engineer your ideas and help you create just what you need. Phone the Alimo Group at 609-267-8310 or visit them at 200 High Street in Mount Holly. So all you can say about that first quarter is it was all Rancocas Valley. Scored 3 times with a 2-point conversion as well, and 3 of the 4 scores, if you want to count the 2-point conversion, were by Mangine, the quarterback. 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion, and then the final one, a 47-yard romp by Iverson Clement. So Rancocas Valley with the football, 2nd down and 6.
For the Red Devils.
At the 20. Again, he's across the midfield line, and he's going to take it in for the touch. Another house call.
All the way for the touchdown.
71 yards.
That'll be a 71-yard touchdown run.
We just were saying how fast Ryan Jennings was, and he runs about a 4 5. Well, you just saw Iverson Clemente run straight past him. So I don't know what he runs exactly, but I think it's probably in the world-class range, I guess. I don't know, because if he's fast, Iverson Clemente is lightning fast.
Of course, one thing he said, Coach Hausman, about this, and we'll do that right after Prskavich kicks the point, and then we'll break for a quick commercial, and then we're going to talk about that. The kick is
up.
Good.
It is good with 11 minutes and 46 seconds remaining.
29-0.
in the second quarter.
Rancocas Valley on a 71-yard touchdown run by Iverson Clemente. We're going to talk about what Coach Hausman told us in just a minute. When you're planning improvements to your home, there are many reasons to choose Fryance. Windows, doors, awnings, carpeting, you name it. At Fryance, you'll get outstanding personal service with free estimates, competitive pricing, quality products, and professional installation. They're open Tuesday through Friday until 5, Saturdays until 4. Fryance, serving the region since 1896 at 21 High Street in Mount Holly. Phone them 1-800-236-4367. So, Dave, what he said is that they play a zero defense on many occasions. And that means they're really crowding the line of scrimmage with everyone. And he said, listen, if we can break past that first line of scrimmage, there's basically nobody back there that's going to be able to stop us. And we can get some long plays, and they've gotten a couple of them in this game already.
Yeah. And swarming is one thing. And I said, before the game, I said, well, Iverson will, which I already said. Listen, he's the best player in the state of New Jersey. He's the ultimate weapon. He can do it all. And you really, if you're trying to contain him, you leave everybody else exposed. And it's like a punt return. If you can beat one level and you all came down to one single level, you get through it and there's nothing but running room there. So he did it. He actually did exactly what he was supposed to do: get by one level and there's nobody left. However, we just saw the kid Ryan Jennings, who we just talked about was a real speedster, and he completely separated from a absolute speedster. If you run a 4.5 in high school, that's about the 99.9 percentile. Well, Iverson Clemente just ran right gallop past him like he was standing still.
Interesting, though, of course, as a defensive back, if that's what he plays, it's tough, I guess, to turn and run versus someone who's already in gear.
But I also took that in consideration, too. I thought he had a head start on him to start running. So it was kind of like they were stride for stride, because if it was an angle, I would have said that was an angle or he had a head start on him. They were step for step, and he took off on him.
Hit a receiver was Goins on that pass play, incomplete. And if you're seeing Eastern throw the football as frequently as they can in this game, you know that they're not doing what they want to do.
Right.
And, of course, they're down 29-0. They throw the football very rarely. As I said, the quarterback has thrown it 40 times in total over 5 games.
Yeah, and they're averaging 35.8 yards passing per game. That's maybe a screen pass or two. So
the give on the jet sweeping the left side for a pickup of a couple.
Pickup of approximately 3 yards.
And we'll try to find out number 80's name at halftime. Some other scores: Millville leads Williamstown 6-0. Lenape up on Vineland 21-0, and Shawnee a 14-0 lead over Apsagami. So Lenape all over Vineland. The number 1 seeded Lenape club is really doing the job on Vineland. Maybe that's why they're the number 1 seed.
Yeah. And Vineland's got some players, man. They got a couple guys we'll see playing for a very long time.
Here's Heck on the run, throwing to the right sideline, and this one again intended for Goins, but incomplete and 4th down. So you can see that they're just not comfortable, Dave. I mean, they're throwing the football. Receivers are really not in the place where the quarterback's throwing the football. They're not on the same page, and that's because they don't do it very well.
And it's not their starting quarterback either, which is unfortunate. But Heck is a great athlete, and I know, where I know the family comes from. He's a great athlete. He'll be able to make adjustments and stuff like that. But it's just this is a very good team.
Here's Talmadge kicking it to Clemente. Stutter steps. avoids a couple tackles. He's across the midfield line. In the open field, cuts to his left inside the 30 and knocked down at the 28-yard line. And you can see again going with the one hand as the ball was bouncing away from him. Just stuck out the left hand, able to corral it. And then starts out to the right side, and you could see him stutter stepping and avoiding tacklers. And the big return at Rancocas Valley is going to open for business at the 28-yard line of Eastern.
I want to see if Coach yells at him for one hand in that. Let's see his
He's having a discussion with somebody.
It doesn't look like he's that happy. It's a great return, but he is not. There he is. Yeah. Not happy. Yep. Well, I know. It was, listen, if you're that comfortable and you could do things in practice that other people just cannot do, if you're that comfortable, he hasn't dropped a one-handed thing yet. He's done it on kickoff returns, punt return, interception, stepping out of bounds. He's done it with one hand. If you could do it and you don't drop it, it's hard to yell at you, but he is something special.
Bright is in there at quarterback, and I believe it's Mangine split far out to the left side, so they're really doing some crazy stuff here. Here's Bright with a carry. Bright breaks free. Bright inside the 20-yard line and to the 19.
Right on the carry.
What I like so far in the first quarter and a half right now is that we haven't seen a yellow flag thrown on Rancocas Valley yet, and that was the problem. They beat themselves against Camden, a game that they were way up on. They really should have won that game. They're up 17-0 by the first quarter, right? And then a bunch of yellow flags, and they just holding and procedure calls and just more penalties than you could ever imagine, and they really beat themselves. None today.
Bright, the quarterback. Mangine again split to the left side, and the give off the right side.
That's number 25, Ty Matlock.
Matlock getting the carry, and they say Eastern does. They've got the turnover. And yes, it is a turnover. The indication from the official. So the second turnover in the game by Rancocas Valley, and that's something they have to be a little concerned with, Dave.
Yeah, ball security, no matter what, even if this game is out of control, the thing that, these things which you go through the playoffs, the things you got to clean up, the penalties, the turnovers, holding the ball. Now, this is another thing they're going to have to go over in practice, and I think maybe the weather has something to do with it because they're cold, and every time when you get your hands hit in the cold weather, it feels 1,000 times worse. You feel it 1,000 times. Every little pain is intensified by a lot. So could have something to do with it, but everybody's playing with it. You got to secure the ball.
Eastern with the football, but they need to do something with it. Again,
number 80 on the carry.
The call goes to number 80 looking to sweep the left side, picked up a yard. That's about it.
Second down for the Vikings.
One of the things when you're winning a game by so much, things once you start working in your younger players and working on the game for the next year. Like I said before, if you could get them in early, it means more to the player. Even if if there's no time left and you're just going to knee the ball, you're not really working a kid in. When you get them in when you get them in the first half, a kid that hasn't played very much, and just work in a player here and there, it means something to them. And then next year they'll mature a lot quicker.
Here's Heck avoiding the rush, breaks contain, and advances to the 21-yard line, but far short of the first down. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. That was one thing that Coach Hausman was concerned about, and that is allowing him to break contain, get outside the pocket, and do some damage. There he did. 3rd down, long 5.
And Kyle Sapp in there at middle linebacker has done just a fantastic job of stuffing the middle up. I don't think anybody really likes to run anywhere near him. And if you go down on the field and look at him, he's built like a tank. And it's very hard, for anybody to run right up the middle on him. There he goes with
interception. That was Sapp. Boy, talk about
just talking about him
for the touchdown. Ball appeared to be tipped and right to him.
Hey, well, as we were talking about him,
who ran in for the touchdown.
And he's done a fantastic job at middle linebacker. One of the finest jobs I've seen at somebody playing that position this year. And he does it like with a lot of enthusiasm too, which you'd like your middle linebacker, who's like the leader of your defense, to come out and have that type of enthusiasm. And I like that I think it's maybe his first touchdown. I don't know if he's ever had a touchdown, at least this year. That's fun. He's an excitable guy, and I wish him a lot of luck in the future. I think he's got he'll have a great college career as well.
Breskavich to attempt.
That kick is up.
And again, he is perfect.
With
36 to nothing.
seconds remaining in the second quarter.
So if nothing changes between now and the second half, we're going to have a running clock in the second half of play here in this football game. Well, if you're looking for the taste of New York in South Jersey, look no further than La Vita's Pizzeria in Mount Holly. They've got what you want. Open Monday through Thursday until 10:30, Friday and Saturday till 11:30, Sunday until 10. La Vita's also delivers. Phone 856-267-8957. Try their all-day specials like 2 large pizzas for $20.99 or a large pizza with a dozen wings for just $17.99. They have hot and cold sandwiches, baked pasta, stromboli, soup, salads, and so much more. La Vita's Pizza, servicing the RV community for over 30 years.
That'll be number 90.
So Breskavich, who's been busy in this ball game, will be kicking it away again.
Yeah, you got to keep that leg warm over there. I told him, I saw him right in pregame, and I say, man, keep that hamstring warm, because he can boot the ball too. Now the ball doesn't go very far when it's cold either. It doesn't have the whip action. It doesn't bounce. So it's kind of like a rock when you kick it. It doesn't go as far, but he's a lit's guy, but he really's got a strong leg.
Ball is received by, again, number 80 at the 27-yard line. His knee was down when he received it, so that's where it's going to stay.
We'll find out who number 80 is at halftime somehow for everybody.
So Eastern trailing it now 36-zip has the football.
When I was in high school, I had my jersey got ripped, and I was wearing number 10. And then when it got ripped, I had to grab another jersey and wear number 84. So this may be just one, maybe it was a ripped jersey in pregame or something like that, and he's having to wear another jersey.
Off the right side, Davis gets the call, picks up 5 yards on first down. That's more like what they're looking for, Dave. And they've just not been able to run the football or sustain anything.
Yeah, not that surprised. And the mistakes that they made in the mistakes that Rancocas Valley made in anywhere in their season, they just wanted to start looking really polished right now. They're late in the season, but they've been able to polish a lot of things up. And this team probably they should have beaten anyway. But it's neat to see that they're not having a lot of penalties. The only thing is those 2 turnovers. That's going to be running sprints right after this for that.
Here's Heck. Again, breaks contained, looking to pass, but close to a first down. He may have it.
Number 44, Joel Anaya.
No indication yet. Penalty. Going to be walked off against Eastern.
So something that, Eastern's they have a neat tradition over there. If you can see it, they leave a seat on the sideline of their games for one of their, they call him Bruce. He was a disabled guy who couldn't speak, but he had been one of the biggest fans of the Eastern programs ever, and they have a B on their uniforms, on their helmet, I'm sorry, and they all, to honor, he just passed away this year, and they all honor him by the seat on the sideline and the B on their uniforms. Kind of neat.
So the penalty moves it back inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Second down and 19. Heck looking to escape. He will not get there.
That will be
Degendo with a stop. And he, of course, was injured a few weeks ago, coming back, and he's also a valuable member of that defense.
Yeah, I remember him getting hurt. And he's one of those pieces that they're going to need when they're playing tougher, when they're playing a little bit of tougher competition. That type of depth on the defensive line, because people are going to try to. Not a lot of people are going to try to pass on this team. All their defensive backs are lightning quick, and they're great offensive players as well. But somebody might try to test them up the middle because they're not very big. But him being back is a big deal because I think he'll be able to stuff the run. Being backed up by Sapp right there, they'll good run stuffers.
They're not going to risk it as they play conservative.
On the carry.
Zwandu with the carry and picked up a couple, but they had a 3rd and 25, so not really going to get there. And playing it conservative rather than giving up another turnover, they're going to kick the football here. Talmadge to boot it. Of course, Willie kick it to Clement. He fumbles it, and now he's going to get hit. He fumbles the football. It's loose, and it's going to be recovered by Talmadge, but it doesn't matter because Rancocas Valley is going to have the football at the 1-yard line.
Number 92, Jesse
Edrick, and we've called his name a whole bunch throughout this season, and one of the leading tacklers as well on this Rancocas Valley club, and he looks excited. You can see him on the sideline getting high fives and double high fives.
That's great.
So when it rains, it pours, Dave, right?
Yeah, it's very hard to look good against this team. Honestly, I was in shock with Camden, how they came back and won that game. And what we said was, Rancocas was getting penalized like crazy, and they looked a little flat. That happens when you're beating teams by that much. It just kind of it's not fun it's not something fun anymore, and you expect to win, so you don't play. You can see they're playing excitable football right now. Even though they're up by so much, they're still jumping up and down and getting jiggy with it and all that fun stuff on the sideline and having their fun. That's what they need to play like that from the first quarter and go into every game with that same attitude. It is a playoff game, so of course they're going to be up.
1-yard touchdown run by Clemente. And again, you saw that jump cut where he just jumped back to the inside to avoid the tackler. And then, of course, just easy getting into the end zone to make it 42-0. Rescavage.
No, I try not to talk too much about Iverson, but I actually I posted something on social media about, if you're not, just to watch this kid play the game of football, it has been you told me in the preseason there's this kid you're going to like to watch, and he's been so much fun to watch and probably one of the best, high school football players I've ever seen.
Highway Tire and Auto Service stocks a wide variety of tires for your vehicle. Passenger tire inventory includes favorite brands like Goodyear, Kelly, and Dunlop. You'll get the best replacement tire for your car, light truck, or SUV now. But there's more. Highway Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated for over 50 years, also offers specials on oil changes, alignment, and brake service. Highway Tire and Auto Service, 1661 Route 38 in Mount Holly. Phone them 609-267-5300 or visit them online at highwaytires.com.
Well, every single team that's played Rancocas has experienced some of that, you don't really get it. I don't think anybody really gets it until you kind of see them in person. It's not, you could say, well, it's a speed. That's not. It could be his speed. It's his hands. It could be his hands. Well, it could be his power. Could be his power. And then you start saying every single thing that he does is instincts. It's just, you don't know where he's got it all. And I mean, I posted that today, and I've seen a lot of great high school football players. Some that dominated the high school, that don't dominate necessarily college. This is a kid who's got the talent and measurable explosiveness, and all those things, and all these intangibles that it's going to translate to the next level. He's going to be a superstar at Florida.
Benson on the reception on the kickoff and at the 29-yard line. Well, the thing that impresses you about him is he's got, as you said, so many things. I mean, he's got patience. He's able to run under control, follow his blockers. He's got power. He has vision. Of course, he has speed and athletic ability, and he has great hands on top of all that other stuff.
And Coach Hausman said that's his best attribute is his hands.
Here's Heck, a low snap. Off the right side, Frandon.
Off the side to T.J. Frandon, number 29.
Minimal gain. Actually, they'll give him 4.
Gain
See,
of approximately 7 yards. That'll be
They really speak
3.5
highly.
yards.
They really speak highly of Frandon over there. They, they think of him as a student, as a wrestler, as a football player, and they got a lot of respect for him.
Again, Frandon with the call. Up the middle. Picks up 3 or 4. That'll bring up a 3rd and manageable for Eastern.
And I even think he's actually playing with a fractured hand too. So I mean, he's playing. He's got, I think, a fractured thumb, and he's got it wrapped up pretty good right there. But yeah, there's a fracture in his hand.
So he's tough as well. Again, the low snap, and here's Frandon again, and he's not going to get there, but all sorts of problems, and it looks like there's a new quarterback in the bowl game, and that is Chase Stafford, number 9. It's going to bring up 4th and 1, so they'll have to punt it again.
into punt number 16, Talmadge.
Talmadge to punt. Clemente is back.
Is back deep.
Of course, now Eastern has the wind at their backs. So see if it helps them. Of course, that's going to hold the ball up and give Clemente an opportunity to return it.
Oh, I floated right there. That was the weirdest float ball I've ever seen.
Makes the catch at the 27, already into Eastern territory, and steps out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Again, you can just see the patience there, just along the left sideline and looking to pick up blockers. But again, Rancocas Valley with the football at the 35 of Eastern. But let's see if there is a marker.
Yeah, so the ball was floating like a drone over the field. It was kind of just a floating dead ball over the field. The second weirdest thing I've ever seen was the kick that landed on the 35-yard line, but the 30-yard line, and just stuck to the ground. It didn't bounce at all before either.
The procedure is the call against Eastern. That's going to be declined. So again,
against the Vikings.
What field position that Rancocas Valley has had this entire football game. Going to start at the 35-yard line of Eastern, already up 43-0.
Yeah, if they're going to send a message out to the rest of the state, that does say something.
Well, they are the number 2 seed. Of course, Lenape got that number 1 seed. The interesting part about it is it really didn't hurt them that much, Dave, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. Mangine throws to the right side. It's complete to Bright.
Complete to number 8.
Inside the 30-yard line and run out of bounds.
He picks up enough for the first down.
The 20, check that, inside the 20 at the 18-yard line, so enough for the first down. And the reason I say it didn't hurt them that much is they're going to have the home field advantage in the first and second rounds. And the third round, which of course is the championship round, they play at a neutral site.
Oh, right. They play at Rutgers?
Rowan or
right.
Sometimes College of New Jersey. Yeah, but it's normally at Rowan.
There's a loss on the play. Loss of 2. Be 2nd and 12 for the Red Devils.
Loss on that last play of a couple. So check that, 2nd and 12, pardon me. 2nd and 12. Ball right at the 20-yard line. Double stack formation. Mangine takes the snap. Sykes off the right side. He's going to go in for the touchdown. As soon as he took that juke and cut it to a right, there was no one there.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I love watching Mark Sykes run the ball. I say Mike Sykes. I have a friend named Mike Sykes. Mark Sykes, the senior, run the ball, and you like to see that too, because he's a heck of a ball player. He could probably even go to college and play somewhere with such low statistics, because he's playing behind such a great athlete that a couple flashes like that, and some college you're gonna like him, and pick him up. He's a real explosive type of player and works really hard. He's valuable to this team too. He's made some big plays when it counts.
Breskavich
It is
again.
good with 2 minutes 54 seconds.
So it makes it
remaining in the
50
second quarter.
to nothing.
The score
And we
is the
still have
Rancocas
2:54
Valley
left
Red
in this
Devils
first half of play. Rancocas
the
Valley,
Eastern Vikings
obviously,
0.
all over Eastern. Adams Electrical Contractors are your residential specialists, handling additions, renovations, and basements. Adams Electrical can supply and install generators, indoor and outdoor lighting, ceiling fans, smoke detectors, whatever you need. They offer free estimates and have been in business for over 35 years. Adams Electrical Contractors, 139 Pine Street in Mount Holly. Phone 609-267-8715 or visit them online at adamselectrical.com. So I don't think anybody really expected it to be 50-0 with 2 minutes and 54 seconds left in the first half of play, but that's what we got.
Yeah, I mean, you get a 2 seed versus 7 seed. It's you expect these guys are they lost 4 out of their last 5, as you said, and Rancocas only has 1 loss to a pretty good Camden team. And I would say of the teams that I've seen, Millville and Rancocas are the 2 best teams I've seen in the state this year.
That'll be number 4, Zaki Johnson.
Johnson with the reception, and Easter will have the football one more time. Howell leads Cherokee 14-7 in Group 5 as well. Howell has an outstanding quarterback and also an outstanding receiver. So they are a danger in Group 5, but pretty much every team we can say is dangerous.
Yeah. But I think that loss to Camden just woke these guys up, and they are playing with a much different intensity. There's nothing flat about anything they're doing, and defense, offense, every position, they're flying around. Everything looks sharp. There's a fumble.
Mangine able to scoop it, and they have the football right back again. And as we suspected, it was Chase Stafford at quarterback. And again, Rancocas Valley with the football, and coming off and celebrating one more time is Jesse Edrick. He's just loves the way they're playing, obviously.
We're getting the turnovers back. I think they want to make up for some of their own turnovers to get those turnover numbers ratio back. But I went down on the field and I just looked at the 2 teams, and I could see they were outmatched by size and speed and everything. And Coach, I know, Coach Doherty had a great career at Paul VI, who he's got a project that he's working with. He's trying to develop his team, and it's going to take some time. But he's in the playoffs, so good for him. They got some work to do. They got to get some guys that can cover some of these guys who are so deep. I mean, this is the deepest team I've seen. And Millville had a pretty deep team. They got some speed all over the place. They're pretty strong all over the place. But these guys have the linebacking core that stuffs up these runs, and they're just so complete. And I could sit there and talk about it all day long. I give a ton of credit to the coaching of Coach Hausman to kind of mix up stuff and mix up the offenses and let Iverson move around on defense and return kicks and punts. But they have so many options. It's such a great. I feel bad for some of the players like Alan Watson. What a great athlete he is. He has 0 catches today. They don't even look at him. They looked at him once early, but the kid's going to be a great college football player. He's not touching the ball because they don't have to. And you just have so many options. And Mark Sykes, that kid would be a superstar on the. If he was playing on Eastern right now, he barely touches the ball. But that's just how good they are.
Wright picked up the first down on that last carry from the quarterback position, but there was a holding call that pushes the ball back to the 35-yard line of Eastern. First down and 15. Wright going to throw the football deep to the left side, and this one is incomplete. He was intending for Mangine.
Iverson to Mangine.
And defending was Dominic Harris on the play. A little underthrown there by Bright.
That was actually Clemente that threw that.
Oh, Clement.
I
Okay.
I think they're just going to, at least for the first half, I think they're going to let the kids go out there and have fun and play some weird positions like that right now because your quarterback's doing hitch and goes on the outside, man-to-man over here. I think they're just going to let them have fun, at least for the first half.
Wright takes the snap. He will take the football, breaks a tackle, slices inside left tackle to the 31, 32-yard line. Of course, against Lenape last year, Iverson Clement played quarterback because Mangine was injured and did an admirable job under the circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, the score's getting out of hand, but they still have to execute some plays that maybe they want to use in the future and just see it on, see it actually happen on the field. They have to do some of those things. So, if they ever use it, they can tell you what worked and how to fix it. And, I wouldn't show too much. But then
again, it's going to give the defensive coaches of the other team more to prepare for when you play a team. Clement can throw the football and Bright can throw the football as he's doing right here. And he was run into. That was a definite
That is pass interference.
Pass interference.
Number 4.
No question about it. Obvious call.
Yeah, that'll be
15-yard penalty against the Vikings.
Is that Joel Naya, the intended receiver?
probably trying to get some seniors a couple catches here. I just think they're going to let them have fun for the first half, and I'm sure Coach Hausman's waving over there saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We just let our seniors have some fun.
So they move the football to the 16-yard line and a first down. So a whole lot of different things going on in this ball game we haven't seen all season. Here's Clement. Clement now reversing the field, gets blocking, but I think they're going to call block in the back there. As you could see, he was cutting back, and one of the defenders for Easton got blocked in the back.
Yeah, that's what they're going to call.
He actually turned.
Yeah, turned into it, and he thought, I think he didn't turn fast enough.
Actually going to call holding against Rancocas Valley, so that's the second holding call of this series. Just going to move them back again. 10-yard walk-off. And they're going to place it down just outside the 30 at the 31-yard line.
Ball will be spotted back on the 30.
And I'm sure they just want to get out of this half right now, go back and talk about it.
Lead at 50-0 and just 1:17 left in this first half.
31 for the Red Devils.
Trip formation to the right side.
That's
Mangine
on the carry.
going to take it himself this time, not the success he has had previously as Goins makes the stop. But again, I think you're right. Under a minute now to play, and they just want to kind of run it out.
Down for the Red Devils.
Yeah, and I expect in the second half you won't see any of the starters. They're getting him some reps in now. You'll probably see all second stringers come in there.
Trips to the right side. Mangine, the quick toss to the right side, and this one is
that is an incomplete pass.
Incomplete, intended for Sykes, but it's Sykes' tough catch anyway. The ball was thrown low, but he looked to be running before he actually got it as well. So a combination of bad throw and trying to run before you have it, and falls incomplete.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to probably see Mark Sykes running the ball a lot in the second half and see some of the younger guys getting some seniors some touches in there and let them play some football.
40 seconds remaining in this first half of play. In case you just joined us, it's been all Rancocas Valley. They lead it 50-0. Mangine directing traffic here. With a snap, going to throw the football. No, he's not. He's going to take it himself, breaks a tackle, a shoulder tackle, a jersey tackle. He's inside the 25 to the 24, far short of the first down.
He's a heck of an athlete, isn't he? He can throw it. And, the neat thing about, we haven't seen him throw the ball really downfield today. He has very good touch on the football. Normally you have the baseball players that throw the ball at tails down. it really tails, and it has a long throwing motion. He's got a short, quarterback motion, and really has good touch on the ball. Deep balls are really nice. I mean, they have not had to use it really, but
And that is the end
he's really good with his arm, great with his legs.
Out to say that's the end of the first half, but
RV
here's someone called a timeout with 1 second left in the first half of play. Parent Chief Chapels has been part of the great Mount Holly community for more than 180 years. Community service and participation are both part of their heritage. When you have a need for their services, you can call 609-267-0399. Go to their website at parentchief.com or visit their warm and comfortable offices, 438 High Street in Mount Holly. They're there to help honor the memory of your loved ones. Parent Chief Chapels, a proud supporter of the student athletes at Rancocas Valley High School. So I guess it was Rancocas Valley that called timeout, and now it's going to be Preskavich attempting a 42-yard field goal. That's his long of the season. Mangine to hold, pretty much straightaway kick, and this one's not going to get there.
That kick is up.
Kicking into the wind, and it's short.
That kid's got a strong. He really could have made that kick if it was. But it was knocked right down by the wind. You could see it start to sail like a 45-degree angle, and then right down to like a 30-degree angle. It went real low. He weighs about 120 pounds, but he can crush the football.
That one was short, but not to worry. If you're a RV fan, they're on top, 50-0. We'll be back in just a moment to talk about the first half, take a look at what's going on around the rest of South Jersey in the playoffs, and we'll do that right after this.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We stock boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, and decorative gravel. We also offer a huge variety of natural thin veneer stone and custom cut stone. We can help you plan the job, rent the tools, and deliver it all. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the best place to buy natural stone products is at Lippincott Supply, downtown Mount Holly, since 1901.
All right, back here at Rancocas Valley, cheerleaders along with the mascot on the field. I don't think we're going to see the band here at halftime.
That's one of my favorite things to do. This band is awesome. We had a great time with Camden's band. Remember, right next to us. Yeah, we had a first. I almost felt like I was in the band that day.
Well, the thing about Camden's band is they are very good. There's no question about it. Very good band.
We all were dancing in that. We were all dancing in there.
The problem, though, with having the Camden band right next to the press box with an open door was they never stopped playing, especially in the first half. They just played all the time. So that's something you don't see very often when you are at a high school football game. They play, but then they normally stop playing, and they didn't stop at all. So anyway, we are at halftime. 50-0 is the score, and I think the score is an indication of how the game went. It's not, well, it was closer than it looks, or it's not as close as it looked. That is how it was in the first half. It was all Rancocas Valley. Despite a couple of turnovers, they are up 50-0.
Well, and I don't blame Coach Housen. Remember, one thing he said was they took their foot off the gas. So I think they said, let's see us put their foot on the gas for 2 full quarters, and let's see how much we can really put out there, and just let just see how fast you can go with it, see how far you can go with it, and then maybe you're going to back off because the game's definitely out of hand now. But, that was the problem. That's exactly what they have to correct their mistakes, even if at the cost of almost embarrassing the other team, but they have to correct their mistakes, which was they got up ahead, 17-0, and then, they played flat. So now they're playing up, and they're 50 points up, and you can see they're still playing enthusiastic, emotional football.
No question. They took that game, and they said, okay, Coach, we know what you're telling us. we can't take our foot off the gas. We've got to play every play, and they have been doing that in this football game. They got up early, and they haven't really stopped. And it's been Clemente and Mangine show. Really, in the beginning, Mangine with a couple of touchdowns running from the quarterback position, plus a 2-point conversion. Then, of course, it was Clemente with a 47-yard run and a 71-yard run. In addition to that, Sapp with the interception for a touchdown, another touchdown from 1 yard off, 1 yard out, that is, after the punter got a bad snap and was tackled at the 1 yard line. And then, of course, it was our friend, Mr. Sykes, from 20 yards out with that final score of the first half. And, of course, perfect was Bruscavage on the extra points. So he has just done a tremendous job. But it's been all Rancocas Valley. And when you look at him against a team like Eastern, who have been struggling of late, losing 4 of their last 5, but still they're in the playoffs, you got to say to yourself, well, you know what, this team has got as good a chance as anyone of taking it all.
Yep. I mean, they're showing all their explosives. They're showing off their weapons right now, and they have to use them to keep them sharp. You know, they can't just hide everything and say, we'll leave it to practice. They're competing right now. They have to compete a little bit. And, you know, I was happy just Kyle Sapp got a senior, 6'1", 220. I'm going to market him a little bit for the colleges right now. He's 6'1", 220, stud linebacker, and he had a nice touchdown. It was fun to see him get a little love on with the ball. And, you know, he's been that leader, that centerpiece, that linebacking core. When you're linebacker, when you have a really good middle linebacker like that, you can see all the good defenses has really good middle linebacker. All of them, from the NFL to college to high school, middle linebacker plays well. Kind of is the emotional leader out there. Sometimes when you have the safety, that's the leader of the defense. That's because your safety is making the most tackles and stuff. That's not a good thing. Kyle Sapp, even though he may not be the tackling leader, he is definitely the centerpiece and that leader on that defense. And they rally around him, and they play, and that's what you want. You want that Mike Singletary, you know, that middle linebacker, that Luke Kuechly, the guy that's got all that. He's like the quarterback of the defense, and sure enough, he does that very well. I'm glad to see him hyped up, you know, getting an interception for a touchdown.
Well, coming into this game, Anaya was the leading tackler, as we mentioned, with 39, but Sapp was second with 38, so he's right up there. Swoop, 35, and Edric with 33. So we can expect those guys to be the leaders and tacklers because they've shown that all season long.
And they're averaging 7 sacks a game, which is a ton of pressure on the quarterback. So, and you know, a lot of times they're not playing they're not even playing into the fourth quarter and stuff because they've been winning by so many points. So, and you know what, and using statistics, it's tough to use statistics. If you were to use statistics, you say Iverson Clement, maybe not even all conference this year. You know what I mean? They barely, you know, he doesn't even have 1,000 yards yet, but clearly he's the alpha of all the, you know, running backs, receivers, and stuff like that. He's the best player out there. But, you know, they feed him sparingly because they don't have to.
That's right. And taking a look at sacks, Swoop and Sapp both have 6, followed by Edric and Boker, I should say, with 3 each. So they are really the leaders of that defense up front. And you talk about Sapp at 6'1" at 220. That's great size for a linebacker. It doesn't matter if you're playing in high school or in college. That's a great size for a linebacker. 220-pound linebacker is big, and at 6'1", great size. So as you said, he could be a very good player at the next level as well.
I think a lot of they got a lot of guys that, you know, when you go to college your freshman year and they start feeding you at those training tables and you put on 20 pounds. I put on 20 pounds as a freshman at Northeastern, and I know a lot of guys come in and put 20, and it's all solid muscle, and these guys are already pretty big, but they're going to put on weight and everything. You look at their line, and so their defensive lines are 185, 215, 190, 170. They don't look very big, but I'd be shocked if, you know, they don't put on a ton of weight in college and be really effective ball players, especially they're over 6 foot and thick. Like you can tell when they're in the field, they are like muscular athletes, big muscular athletes. They're not too wiry. like a basketball player. It's not going to put any weight on that frame. These guys have room to put weight on the frame, and see some of these seniors in next year. We'll be reading about them in the colleges, and hopefully we keep some of these good players at Rutgers or somewhere close, and we get our Rutgers boys, that program, back on top.
Well, they've done okay this year. They've won 3 Big Ten games in a row, playing Penn State tomorrow, I believe it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, they compete for recruits in New Jersey as well. And matter of fact, Barkley, the running back for Penn State, originally committed to Rutgers.
Really?
But I think he made a better choice. I'm not saying that Rutgers would not have loved to have him. He's one of the great running backs ever in college, but he did originally commit to Rutgers, but changed his mind and ended up at Penn State and has a chance to be one of the top 3 draft choices in the NFL as well.
Well, yeah, and usually they don't want to take a running back that early because they use them in shifts now. And the more I watch the NFL game evolve, and they do that for a reason, because the mileage that's put on a running back, it's a lot. It's a lot of hits, a lot of touches. So you want to kind of cut those that mileage back. Even in college, it's smart for these guys to come out early, so they can have less touches. The more you have like percentages, and you play these numbers, which are like, well, if you carry the ball 1,000 times, you're going to get hurt every 1,000 reps. So if you're taking if you cut it down to 600 reps, your percentage of being hurt or get lower and lower and lower. So, and they do the same thing. Like even like in high school, I know they try to move the ball around. Even though you can hand the ball off to Iverson every single play, but then you uppers chances for being hurt. And this team would probably be a very good team without Iverson, but with him, I just kind of think they're unstoppable right now.
Well, we're going to find out next year. Mangine's going to be back, and some of the other players will be back, and they have some very good players who are not seniors, so we'll see how they fare next year. Right now, 50-0, they lead it over Eastern in the opening round of the Group 5 South Jersey State Tournament. And Premier Barbershop is the place to get your hair cut. They have experienced barbers at Premier who specialize in the latest styles, fades, temple tapers, mohawks, comb-overs, designs, and more. Premier Barbershop, 14 High Street in Mount Holly. They're a diversified establishment. If you look good, they also look good. Get sharp at Premier Barbershop in Mount Holly. And over the years, Third Base Sports and Trophies has grown into one of the leading companies on the East Coast in providing all of your trophy and apparel needs. Located on Hollywood Avenue in Cherry Hill, they provide one-stop shopping to their customers with outstanding quality service and affordability. Open Monday through Friday from 9 till 5, Saturdays from 9 until noon. Phone 856-665-0114. Remember to stop at third base on your way home. So 50-0. The game is not in doubt at this point. And you have been on the short end of a score, as you keep bringing up many times here in college. So what do you do when you're in a situation like this, as far as what do the coaches tell you, and what do you try to do when you're behind in this type of situation, especially in this type of situation, Dave, because it's one and done?
We played University of Massachusetts in 1999. We just played Boston College, very tough. We took them almost. We had them tied up till the last play of the game. We ended up losing 28-21 at a small school like us. So we played very emotional that game, and then we played them very tough. The next game we were really flat. Played UMass, who was the defending national champion that year, but we I don't know why we just didn't play up for that game. Sorry, we ended up at halftime being like 44-0. And we played, it was a real muddy field, and we had a lot of turnovers and everything. And our coach, listen, the end of the score, the end of the game, 77-0, so we didn't do much better. We took out our starters and everything out at the first half, but they just got, our second stringers got to play a lot of football that game. And normally, we were playing from behind. We didn't have a great season, but I think what they're going to do is play some of their second stringers and let them get some, let them actually get some game time. It'll almost be like a JV game right now. But you know what? We'll have some fun seeing the future of Rancocas Valley and Eastern right now.
Yeah, it's been all Rancocas Valley. 50-0 is the score. We are at halftime, and it's been a windy, cold night here at Rancocas Valley, but really the elements have not really played that much of an effect, if any effect, on this game, really.
And the fumbles sometimes can play, and missing a kick. Missing the kick, I think, really has the ball with the wind. You know, that was in range for Pregame. I think he's in. That's his range. With a cold ball, not necessarily, and with the wind, definitely not. But if he was going with the wind, or he had one of those factors, I think he makes those kicks, because really right off the tee he can kick the ball into the end zone, which is impressive for somebody who, I mean, if I looked up how much he weighs, let's see, 135. Okay, so 135 pounds, but he kicked the ball in the end zone. Normally it takes a bigger man to kick the ball that far. He can do it. So when he puts some weight on, he's got that talented leg.
Well, he's 4 for 5 coming into this game, so now he's 4 for 6, and his long is, in fact, 42 yards, which was his attempt here in this first half. So he can definitely get it there, but a couple of things, as you said, ball's cold, and he was going into the wind.
Mm-hmm.
So that does play into the results, and it was a low-line drive and just didn't get it there.
Some of the, my brother-in-law was a kicker in the NFL. He played for the Atlanta Falcons 2006, and he was a first-team All-American at Northeastern as well. And he would tell me about. I always ask him, "What, is that makeable? Is that something?" And he would say the further you go back, the lower the line, the lower the angle of the kick is. So you can't kick if you kick it at a high trajectory. It's less able to be blocked. You kick it low, it can be blocked. So you're also dealing with somebody who could go straight up and just knock the ball down. So those things play a factor the deeper you go into it. So like if you're kicking, if you have to kick it low, there's guys that they can knock that thing, down just by standing up at the angle you take. So that's the other thing, is being able to be a good enough kicker to kick it high and still go long. So you're gonna, because a lot of people can kick it long really low, but it's not going to reach or go or it'll be blocked very quickly.
Another update from the Lenape Vineland score in the third quarter. Lenape leading the Fighting Clan 28-0. So looks like they are going to advance as well. And they would face the winner of Howell and Cherokee. Last time we heard, Howell was on top of Cherokee.
Hold on a minute.
And here, of course, the winner of this game will face the winner of Millville and Williamstown, which would be a rematch of last year's semifinal right here from Rancocas Valley, where Millville came out on top and went on to win the Group 5 championship, beating out Toms River North. That was ranked pretty much number 1 the entire season, but Millville did the job.
Well, everybody was a little bit afraid of playing Vineland, and they were like the dark horse. And I actually read some of the publications they had, and they said that Vineland was a dark horse. They do have some really good players. I don't think they had the depth, I think, at each position that it would take to get past some of the bigger teams, the bigger better teams like the Prep or even Lenape. Is all over them right now, but that's just if you're missing a couple guys that could really, really hurt you. They didn't have a lot of depth. They did have some extremely good players, though.
Timber Creek also knocking off Seneca 35-24 in Group 3. So Timber Creek, outstanding club, of course, with an outstanding quarterback in Leary, and has a chance this season, I don't know if he's done it yet, to set the all-time passing records for the state of New Jersey. And he was the player of the year, NJ.com player of the year last year, and he's just an outstanding player. 6'2", about 190, on his way to North Carolina State next year. At the half, Millville leading Williamstown, but just 6-0 in that ball game. Bit of a surprise there.
Right, yeah. I didn't see that coming. We saw, we watched a pretty much a butt kicking, right, from Rancocas Valley. I didn't see that coming at all. Millville, who I think is very explosive, who, if I had to put these two teams next to each other, though, I would say I give it to Rancocas Valley. But Millville has a very explosive team, a lot of positions, a lot of scores, very similar to Rancocas Valley. I just think that they have more they're just a little bit better at every position. I mean, you have a couple that you may have the best player in the state, they have two guys, really, really, really good players. Clayton Scott, and Clayton Scott's number 28. I think he was they had him as ranked as the number 1 or 2 player in the state last year, and he also had 16 sacks. Crazy, like the water boy type of statistics from that movie. I mean, it's just crazy to do that defensively when he had so many touchdowns. He had 1,700 yards rushing. Well, that they may have that, but they don't have Iverson Clement. You know what I mean? They may have another Charlton Lawrence, but they don't have Allen Watson. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. There's a little bit more, and they can do it. But the teams are very similar.
Yeah, no question about it. They were able to contain Clement last year in the game that they won right here, and Scott had a big game as well. And of course, Coach Hausman said, yeah, they did the same thing Millville did to us, the same blocking scheme up front offensively as Eastern. It's just they did it a lot better. Mm-hmm. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and then we'll be back with the start of half number 2. Rancocas Valley up 50-0, and we'll be back in just a moment after this 1-minute break.
Looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle? Miller Ford has a great selection to complement any lifestyle or budget. Plus, not just any car can be certified pre-owned Ford. Only the best cared for vehicles are chosen and then backed with Ford factory coverage, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a clean Carfax report, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Find an affordable, reliable, and certified Miller Ford today. Miller makes it better. Route 38 Mount Holly and 24/7 at millerford.com.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We stock boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, and decorative gravel. We also offer a huge variety of natural thin veneer stone and custom cut stone. We can help you plan the job, rent the tools, and deliver it all. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the best place to buy natural stone products is at Lippincott Supply, downtown Mount Holly, since 1901.
All right, back here at Rancocas Valley. Both teams on the field on a very, very chilly night with a crisp wind as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can almost feel a little bit of the breeze coming in here, you know? I mean, like, we can almost feel how cold it is outside when they open the window, you know? We're up here all, we're up all cozy in this heater right behind us, and Dean's making jokes on the way in here that they broke the thing. The heater's broken, so I was about to stop at Walmart and grab a space heater so we can have it down here. And he's like, "No, I'm just kidding." I actually pulled off the road to try to get a space heater.
Well, actually, the AD here at Rancocas Valley was pulling Dean's leg, telling him that there's no heat in the press box. Of course, you and I both knew it because earlier in the season when it was warm outside, the heater kicked on and they had to turn it off. So I said, "Oh, that's good."
Yeah, it wasn't really that funny because when I was in the car shivering and I'm like, "Oh my God, no, I can't take this." But everybody's kind of over here. You can see everybody getting loose on the field, and it's 50-0, and they are still amped right now. They are having fun, which is something they were up 17 points against Camden. They were flat. You could tell they were just, everybody's sitting back on the bench. Oh, okay, we're done. And now they're all hyped up again. Either that or they're just really cold.
Number 90, Tom Pascavage to kick off for the Red Devils.
Oh, Pascavage will kick it off one more time. Very short kick.
Short kick.
Oh, and receiver was run into, and a marker is down. They really didn't give him an opportunity to make the catch.
Well,
I don't believe
Stevie Benson just got his bell rung.
Number 99, Dan Aquino.
So that's probably going to be a targeting penalty because he was defenseless. And he got hit pretty hard in the helmet, so we should see an ejection here.
Attempted to recover.
Anaya was there to make it stick, but got there a little early.
Yeah, this is going to be probably, if they're gathering here together, he did not have the ball yet, and that he was a defenseless player, which I like this rule. I hear, I was listening to ESPN radio today talking about how the rules have made, people not like the game as much, but I think it's more important to protect the players than entertain the fans, especially at the high school level. And this rule is made to protect the players, and I like it. And I think it should be enforced.
So still talking it over are the officials.
I mean, I hope, I just hope he's okay. And they're going to go through the concussion protocol on the sideline. You can see him standing with the trainers right now, and they got the flashlight in their eyes. But I think we'll have a disqualification here.
Personal foul is the call against Rancocas Valley. Haven't seen him as of yet give the disqualification, so evidently that's not going to be the case right here. Officials talking it over with the coaches on the Rancocas Valley sideline.
Yeah, Coach Hausman's got a, I don't know if that was, things happen in the heat of the moment and everything, and it probably doesn't look like they're going to eject them, which is good. But those are those. If I wasn't, kind of biased here, I would want that to be an ejection.
15-yard penalty against the Red Devils.
15-yard walk-off, moving the football to the 46.5 of Rancocas Valley. This could be the furthest penetration into Rancocas Valley's territory in this game.
Yeah, I haven't seen them over the 50-yard line yet.
They give off left guard to Frandon, and he's inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Probably their most effective run we've seen all game.
Now spotted at the 39-yard line. It'll be second and 4.
Second and 4. Quick throw to the left side is complete for a first down and more inside the 30 to the 26-yard line.
Where he has picked up a first down. It'll be first and 10 for the Vikings.
First down and a stoppage of play. And the officials are saying, what are you stopping for? We didn't stop at the quarterback. Looking at the official, that's Stafford, and then he says, okay, I guess I better run the play. That was a strange looking experience right there.
That happens. That happens. Happened in the NFL, Thursday Night Football the other night.
So a loss of 4. Double slot formation. Stafford going to throw deep to the right side, and this one is incomplete, overthrown.
Ball is overthrown. That will bring up third
So let's break down the route
Vikings.
since we have some time. He ran a corner route. Now, this is how you run a corner route. You're gonna go straight upfield. You have to break towards the back pylon. That is your line. So the quarterback is looking for you no matter where you are. You're going to run about 8 steps and break towards the back pylon. If you and he's going to put that ball along that line. Now, because he ran the route wrong, it looked like it was overthrown. That was on the receiver. That was all the receiver. So when you hit the boom into the corner, he would have run that right down. But he actually looked over the wrong shoulder as well. He should look over the outside shoulder.
Receiving 101 here from my partner, Dave Klemic, who knows a little bit about that. They give inside the 20-yard line to the 17.
And the ball is now
Again, that's number 80. We just could not get a clarification as to who that was at halftime. That'll bring up a 4th and a couple.
4th and 2.
Yes, I got to play for Charlie Joyner. He was my wide receiver coach, who was an absolute perfectionist, and I got to know so much about the one position, and I really wasn't much, when I get my opportunity to talk about it, Tony, you're not going to shut me up.
I don't want to shut you up, man. I want to learn. I want to learn. Yeah. Adds to the broadcast. Stafford.
Number 29,
Brandon.
P.J. Brandon on the carry.
To the 15, and believe that is he has the first down.
First down.
We got a penalty in the backfield too. I think he just kind of pushed the guy a little bit late push. We're gonna get a 15-yard penalty here.
If so, that would be kind of the way this game's been going for Easton, even when they get a first down and they're deep into Rancocas Valley territory. Bad things happen. Howell now on top of Cherokee, 21-7 in Group 5. They win that game, they'll advance to take on Lenape, who is up 28-0 on Vineland.
Let me give a little props here to the cheerleaders because they're out here freezing their butt off. They've been going the entire time, and not a lot of people left in here or anything, and they are nonstop. They haven't quit.
Yeah, well, the fans who are here, got to give them credit as well.
Yeah, we do.
Legal procedure is the call against Eastern, so that negates the pickup of the first down by Frandon.
Oh, that was a procedure call? That wasn't a late hit? Okay.
Well, it looks like they're walking off more than procedure. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, that's a 15-yard. It was a late push. It was a late one.
I believe there was a late hit on the play.
That was Jermaine Donaldson had it, pushed. Who was that? David Parenchief.
Gives it down at fourth down.
Probably.
Fourth down and approximately.
Yeah, he got knocked over there a little bit late.
So now 4th down. The ball moved back outside the 35 to the 38-yard line. They need the 16 for the first down. 4th and 23. Low snap again. Stafford going to take it himself, rolling to his right. Breaks the line of scrimmage, but he's not going to get anywhere near to the first down as he's knocked down at the 25-yard line. And it'll be Rancocas Valley football once again. And remember, we're in the second half, and if you have a 35 or more point lead, the clock runs continuously. And that's what's happening right here. It's down to 6 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, that was David Parenchief sacrificing himself, getting a 15-yard penalty for, get some negative yards against Eastern. But I think, I'm pretty sure he's he's related to the sponsors, Parenchief Chapels. Yep, I'm right. I'm getting the thumbs up over here. Yep. The grandson? The grandson. Okay. Number 64, David Parenchief. Thanks for sponsoring.
So they're on the field on offense, RV.
First and 10
A whistle, and now play is put back. Quick substitute there for Rancocas Valley. So the play is now set to get underway. The ball at the 25-yard line. Mangine at quarterback, and looks like Eastern may have jumped. Officials call a timeout, but looks like they're going to walk it off against Rancocas Valley. Legal procedure, the call against Rancocas Valley.
Now, I know there's going to be a bunch of new viewers to this game today, and if you haven't seen the offense, really a complete offense that Rancocas Valley is, they haven't really Alan Watson has not been used hardly at all. We haven't seen any action from we haven't seen Jerome Hill very much except for one early. Ty Matlock, we haven't heard anything. Keyshawn Harris, not a lot, or if anything at all. This is a bunch of offensive weapons all over the place. Haven't been used really much today, and they will in a more competitive game. But I know when I posted this on Facebook and I said, a lot of people saw that, and if they're watching it to see kind of Iverson do his thing, you got to see Iverson, but you didn't get to see the whole Swiss Army knife that is Rancocas Valley offense.
Another fumble, though, recovered by Eastern, so they have the football right back again. Low snap. The give off the right side. Azwanu.
Ball was handed to number 8.
Nothing there at all. Loses a yard.
Azwanu can run the ball. I watched some of his highlights, and he's a heck of a ball player, man. He runs the ball very well. He's fast, strong. He do a lot with the football. Very ineffective against this defense, though, today.
Loss of a yard. So the third fumble in this game, Dave, for Rancocas Valley. Of course, the elements are a factor. It is cold, it is windy, but
for them. Yeah, for them. For us, we're good.
Stafford up the middle. Frandon, the carry in the first down inside the 10 to the 7 or 8 yard line. He does have the first down. So Eastern looking to get on the board with under 3 minutes left in this third quarter of play. Frandon again looking to sweep the left side, able to slip a tackle, looking to turn up field and close to the 5 yard line.
Ball is going to be spotted on the 5 yard line.
Frandon, their second leading ball carrier. Swanu is their leading ball carrier, but hasn't seen that much action really in this ball game, or hasn't carried the football a great deal. Second and 5. Azwanu with the call to the 1.
Ball is now spotted on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, if I didn't give the cheerleaders some credit here, my girlfriend, who was an Eagles cheerleader for 8 years, would give me a ton of heat for that. But it didn't take her texting me that to think of that. I was thinking about that the whole entire time, and they really do work their butts off. And some of the stuff they do for school spirit is awesome. They really do a great job, and I remember how much it meant to us when, the things that they do to help the school spirit, and I just think they do a fantastic job definitely at the high school level. It's awesome.
So the score was at Stafford, the quarterback, on the sneak for the touchdown.
That'll be Talmadge
Talmadge to kick.
For the extra point. That's Heck for the hold.
Heck the hold, bad snap, and the kick is good. Just does get over the crossbar, which makes it 50-7.
And that ball just barely got up, and the wind took it right over the goal. It barely was going anywhere, and the wind whipped that thing right over the goalpost.
50-7. Rancocas Valley, 2:14 left in the third, and there's something for everybody at Dempster's Sports Pub in Mount Holly. Early bird specials, Mexican Monday, Saturday breakfast, Thursday. A great menu featuring their scrumptious burgers, nightly entertainment, and a wide array of beverages. But Dempster's Sports Pub was designed for the sports fan. You can watch all your NFL and college football games, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it. And they have their own sports teams as well for shuffleboard, darts, and horseshoes. Dempster's Sports Pub, 437 Pine Street, just off Route 38 in Mount Holly, where friends become family. Some updated scores. Cinnamonson knocks off Camden 28-12 in Group 2. Timber Creek leads Seneca 35-24. Howe on top of Cherokee 21-7. Delsey all over Ocean City 36-20. West Deptford taking care of Pleasantville 38-6. Williamstown on top of Millville now, 7-6. Lenape 35. Vineland zip. Shawnee 28. Apsagami nothing. And Hamilton leads Central 14-0. So here's Talmadge with a kick and over the head of everybody and through the end zone. So a little bit of a surprise there. Williamstown on top of Millville.
Wow.
7-6.
Wow. Yeah, I'm shocked. Let's get those updates every minute. I'm in shock about that one. It was talking. How nice was it to talk to Coach Doherty before the game? He's a great guy, isn't he? I talked to him. We started talking. I expected to answer a couple questions to get some color stuff for today, and I ended up talking to him for about 35, 40 minutes. And he's like a historian of high school football. He was at Paul VI, had a great career at Paul VI, and really brought that program to where it is. And now he was at Holy Cross, and he coached, I think, for the coaches at Rancocas Valley. So they all had a nice reunion over here before the game, and he was just a great guy to talk to, very appreciative of everything and everything people do for high school football. Knows every single person, and he's been around for a long time.
Casey Conley in a quarterback and has issues with the snap, able to fall on it. Back at the 6-yard line.
I hope that didn't make him sound old. I called him a historian. He just he just knew a lot about high school football in our area.
Well, not at all. I mean, you can be a historian as a teenager,
sure,
as long as you know what the history is, right?
Yeah. But yeah, when you're the coach of the coaches, that does make you feel kind of old,
Second and 22.
Coach Doherty, class act.
Be second and 22 for the Red Devils.
They're up 50-7. Taking a long time to get the snap off, but that's what they want to do. The give, looking to sweep the left side. Not much there.
Frandon taking him down like a wrestling move.
That was Moses on the carry. That's going to do it. So that's the end of the third quarter with the score, Rancocas Valley 50, Eastern 7. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter right after this.
Eastern Vikings 7.
Pre-loved, pre-approved, and new to you. Visit Miller Subaru in Mount Holly and get a great deal on a factory-certified pre-owned vehicle. Our certified pre-owned vehicles are all backed by Subaru and come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a free Carfax included, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Get all of the luxuries and peace of mind of a new car at an affordable price. Miller makes it better. Miller Subaru, Route 38 Mount Holly, 24/7 at millersubaru.com.
All right, back here at Rancocas Valley, 50-7. Rancocas Valley has the football, looking at a 3rd and 22, but Dave just more concerned with just getting out of here without an injury and moving on.
Yep, injury. I'm seeing Alan Watson out on the field right now, and I'm bet you my bottom dollar they're going to try to get him the football somehow because he's been a non-factor today, and I think he just needs the ball in his hands. He's still being covered by Jennings, who's a speedster himself, but I'm pretty sure they're going to try to sneak him the ball right now. There we go.
In and out of his hands.
Tony,
Watching the intended receiver, but
I hate to be wrong.
I know you do.
As soon as I saw him go out there, I'm like, they got to get on the ball. He probably needs a couple touches, But I would see that I'm going to say they're going to probably try to work him the ball a little bit right now, just so he gets some touches.
4th down. Carlos Vasquez
Number 17, Carlos Vasquez,
will be kicking.
in for the punt.
Snap. And the kick is off the side of his foot, but gets a good roll. Continuing to roll across the 30-yard line, and they're going to be down at the 34-yard line.
That was a great roll for a really, really bad kick.
Well, you bring Vasquez in. Of course, he's not the normal kicker. Ethan Jackson is. You put him in the end zone, and you're asking him to kick the football.
Yeah.
One thing that he did have was the wind at his back, and he got the good roll. And so Easton will have the football with a clock continuing to run. They'll have it at the 34-yard line of Rancocas Valley. And, of course, as we have said, Rancocas Valley and both teams, mostly Rancocas Valley, with a lot of people in their ball game who are not starters. And
this is good. This is great experience for those kids to get reps during important, it's a playoff game, but, it's not with no time left and they're just going to take a knee or run the ball up the middle. They're getting some time in right now. And all of these reps count for maturity. Maturity, it means a lot in football, too. And experience, it means a lot. Just by getting those reps, these kids are growing exponentially with every single rep. They make a tackle. It means a ton. And the next year, if they didn't have those tackles, it would really, they'd have questions in themselves. And they get to, with every single play, they get to kind of verify their identity through every single tackle or hit or play. It just feels, every time I stepped on the field, I felt that way. And I gained this kind of like experience, knowledge, and confidence.
so the run by the jet sweep run by 80, followed by Frandon's run off right tackle. Pass incomplete to the left side. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 4 for Eastern. They're down 50-7.
We have the pleasure of in the box. We've been able to hang out with Joe Holland. He's like a legend at Rancocas Valley. As a matter of fact, and we've had some fun times up here together, and we kind of laugh at some of the some of the mistakes that we'll make or we'll see up here. And I open up the website on Rancocas Valley, and the first person I see is Joe Holland, and he kind of is he's their spokesperson of the school, and he's a longtime teacher here. How long did you teach, Joe? 34 years he's been at the school, and he's up here, the voice of the school, and he's the face of the school. If you go on the website, you would think it might be like, Franco Harris or something like. Nope, Joe Holland. He's the man around here. We get to share the booth with him.
Stafford with a give up the middle. Frandon with a carry again, and he's been seeing the bulk of the carries here in this ball game. Aswanu is the leading ball carrier, but it's been Frandon who has been carrying the load. Again gets the call.
That's Brandon on the carry.
To the 7.
That'll bring up 3rd down.
Clock continues to run, under 8 minutes left in this ball game.
Now, teaching for 34 years, like they say, all teachers go to heaven. If you teach for 34 years, you get to sit somewhere high up on the ranks at heaven, because I, substituted like one class when I was, in college. I came home and I substituted a class, and I was ripping my hair out, and that was one class. 34 years of teaching. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Not easy. And a lot of these coaches are also teachers. Coach Hausman coaches biology, I think, at the school. And a lot of them are teachers. Anatomy and physiology, that's it. Sorry. Very close.
So right now we have 4th down and a couple.
Down for the Vikings.
And goal. Off left tackle. Does not get there. And Rancocas Valley will take over. So a nice stand there by the Red Devils, and 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in this football game. They're going to get the football back. So they'll be moving on, and At this point, we really don't know who they're going to be playing, with Williamstown on top of Millville, 7-6.
Get an update on that game right now. How much time is left?
Haven't gotten it of late, but as soon as we get something, we'll pass it along.
That's interesting. That means everything to this game.
Conley, the quarterback. Moses in the backfield. Again, the low snap to Conley, and some of the Eastern players are saying that was a safety, but evidently, or was it?
There is a signal for...
Still looking to see what the... Coming to the sideline, so I don't know if it's a timeout or if there was a safety, but score hasn't changed yet.
No. You know, one of the things I think makes Coach Hausman a great coach too is sheer size of the guy. I don't know if we can get a close up on Coach Hausman right there, but these guys are in uniform, wearing cleats with helmets on, and he's towering over. Can you see? I don't know if we can get that close up. It's right next to the ref, but he towers over them. And when we go down and talk to him, I literally look straight up. He's got to be 6'8". He's huge. Played football at Rowan. And with a couple bad injuries that set his career back, but man, he is a monster.
So the question is, was there a safety on that play? Because they still hadn't put it up. Now they've put it up on the scoreboard. Okay, so that's official now.
You have an immediate respect for someone that's that type of size, you know.
We do have an update on that Williamstown-Millville score. Williamstown now on top, 14-6.
Wow. Did not see that coming.
That's in the fourth quarter. So they'll be punting the football, will Rancocas Valley. Good kick with the wind
Number 80
at the back.
at the reception.
Again, 80 with the reception, and he's in all sorts of trouble inside the 20. Going to be knocked down right about the 15-yard line. So big surprise, not to Williamstown, obviously, but Millville trailing Williamstown in the fourth quarter, 14-6.
And I got to call their game last week. When they played Atlantic City, and they looked pretty solid. They looked solid all the way around. They were a very complete team, polished, and they looked really good. This shocks me. Seeing Williamstown, I thought, was a good football team, solid football team, but, definitely not good enough to be up on Millville. I did not see that unless they were holding something back or Rancocas Valley was just that good, and I think it's a little bit of both.
Stafford is the quarterback. He's come on for Heck, takes the snap back. Frandon gets the call, looking to cut it back to the right side, slips a tackle across the 20-yard line, and going to be marked right at the 20-yard line.
The ball was fumbled. It appears that RV has recovered.
And there was a fumble at the end of that play, and Rancocas Valley has recovered. Looking for the indication from the officials. They had a discussion. Both teams on the sideline, but
Clock's still running. There's 3:10 left.
so it looks like the fumble did take place. Rancocas Valley's offense on the field.
Alan Watson is still out there. So I do believe they're going to try to feed him, at least get him a touch today. I want to see it myself, just so he can have a little confidence going into the next game.
Conley is the quarterback, and they list him as 6 feet and 135. I don't know about that. He looks bigger than 135 to me.
Yeah, he's a little bigger than that. I think there might have been a little bit missing where he just ate a lot. But, yeah, I think they're going to work the ball to Allen Watson here.
Gives to Moses off the left side, and he slips and falls down.
That's big. That's a big thing, just to have a touch from some of your receivers. They just want to make sure that you can, it reassures their confidence in themselves. And it's important to get him a touch right now.
Under 2 minutes left in the ball game. 50-9 is the score. I'm going to hope to talk to Coach Houseman after this ball game. Dave's going to be heading down to the field to take care of that. Off the right side. Moses again gets the call, and Moses with an impressive run inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
Goes down to the 2-yard line.
Going to mark it at the 2, actually. Under a minute left. Rancocas Valley moves on to take on the winner of Millville and Williamstown. Right now, a bit of a shocker, but I'm sure Williamstown would disagree as they are on top 14-6 on the road against Millville, the number 3 seed. Conley will take it from under center. This will be the final play of this ball game from the 2. Now Conley looks at that official deep. Off left guard to Moses to the goal line, and he's in for the touchdown. Two-yard run by Moses to make it 56-7. With just 6 seconds left, Proskavich to attempt.
That's Proskavich in it for the extra point. That's number 16, Ethan Jackson holding.
Jackson to hold it.
The kick is up.
And the kick is good.
With 6 seconds remaining in the game, the score is the Rancocas.
So 57-0 with just 6 seconds left in this ball game. Rancocas Valley on top. Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day is proud to support Rancocas Valley football. Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day is an annual not-for-profit event established in 1998 as a way to financially support area youth programs. Everything from Pop Warner football to the Mount Holly Library. The 21st annual Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day coming up in May. Check out the details online at onlc.com/Pro Day. So this will be the final play of this ball game. Kickoff by, unless of course it goes out of bounds, but then again it doesn't matter, does it? Because the clock runs no matter what happens. Proskavich has been busy both kicking off and point after. Also attempted one field goal from 42 yards that was not good. Ball is touched by Frandon. Picks it up. Starts to his right. Turns upfield and across the 20-yard line to the 22-23, and that is going to do it. Rancocas Valley wins it easily,
Final score,
knocking off Eastern 57-6. Now an update, Millville has tied it up against Williamstown with 9:34 to go in the football game. 14-14 Millville and Williamstown. We're going to take a short break, a minute break, and then we'll be back with more from Rancocas Valley right after this.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We stock boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, and decorative gravel. We also offer a huge variety of natural thin veneer stone and custom cut stone. We can help you plan the job, rent the tools, and deliver it all. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the best place to buy natural stone products is at Lippincott Supply, downtown Mount Holly, since 1901.
Looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle? Miller Ford has a great selection to complement any lifestyle or budget. Plus, not just any car can be certified pre-owned Ford. Only the best cared for vehicles are chosen and then backed with Ford factory coverage, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a clean Carfax report, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Find an affordable, reliable, and certified Miller Ford today. Miller makes it better. Route 38 Mount Holly and 24/7 at millerford.com.
All right, back here at Rancocas Valley, where the Red Devils, with an impressive win over Eastern, knocking them off by the final of 57-9. In a game that was really over at halftime. They led it 50-0 at halftime and went on to win it easily over Eastern.
I was losing right now to Williamstown. The game's not over. Vineland did lose tonight. How does that make you feel in the playoff picture?
Well, it just goes to show you. I mean, the playoffs is a whole new season, and that's what our motto is coming in here. Everybody's 0-0 when it comes to the playoffs. So I'm just glad of what our team did tonight after coming off of a loss last, 2 weeks ago to Camden. We had a nice long bye week, so we got some guys healthy, and we came in and we executed the way we were capable of.
I thought that's exactly what I was going to say. What you did was instead of playing flat, you guys were up 50 points, and everyone was playing emotional and the entire time and really sharp. Is that what you guys were hoping for?
Absolutely. I mean, how could you not hope for that? I mean, that's what we wanted to do. We had to eliminate penalties. I mean, it killed us 2 weeks ago against Camden, so I thought we did a much better job of executing tonight.
You guys looked great tonight, and congratulations, Coach. I know you're cold. Go ahead and get in there, man.
Cold.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much. Dave is talking to Coach Houseman. Final score once again was 57-9 in the first half. Bryce Mangine with the first 2 touchdowns and then followed up with an extra point for 2. Iverson Clemente then went off for 47 yards and 71 yards. At that point was 29-0. Sapp with the interception for the touchdown for 24 yards, made it 35-0, 36-0 with the extra point. Iverson Clemente then with a 1-yard touchdown run. That came after a bad snap to the punter, Talmadge, who just fell on it at the 1-yard line and an easy score for Clemente. And then Sykes with a 20-yard run, that is, to make it 49-0, 15-0 with the extra point. And that's where it was at halftime. The second half really was just about running out the clock as they were up by the score of more than 35 points. And so the clock just continued to run. There was a 1-yard run by quarterback Stafford to make it 50-6. The extra point was good. And then Moses with a 2-yard run with just 6 seconds left made it 56-7, and of course the extra point was good. Made it 57-9. By the way, they did get a safety as well, did Eastern. So that was the final score, 57-9. So that's going to be it here from Rancocas Valley as the Red Devils do it in convincing fashion, knocking off Eastern, the number 7 seed, 57-9. Last time we heard it was 14-all. Millville and Williamstown, the winner of that game, will play Rancocas Valley here next week. So for Dave Klemic, this is Tony Blum. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Mike Wolverton, of course, thank you upstairs for the video on a very, very cold night. Dean Mikowski, and of course everyone at Prime Events, thank you as well. And we'll be back here next week for more from Rancocas Valley. Once again, the final score, 57-9, Rancocas Valley. For Dave, this is Tony. So long for now.